The episode begins with author Hudson and Nixon meeting with the Attorney General about fate of the task force. Over the years, the task force has been working for Reddington instead of working with him. Even the task force has now admitted that they helped and protected Reddington while he built his own criminal empire. Reddington meets with Weecha to tell her he is planning to leave the country soon, and that he would love Weecha to come with him. Weecha is hesitant about the plan, but Reddington tells her he will be boarding his jet later and she should come. If Weecha joins him, that's amazing. But if she doesn't, Reddington have his answer. He gave her time to decide. Later, Reddington visits a few friends before his journey, including his darling Agnes Keene. Reddington tells Agnes that it is a special day because he has a gift for her, Elizabeth Keene's FBI badge. Red gifts it as a reminder of her mother's effort and determination, encouraging the young girl to choose a safer career path than her mother, something safer than law enforcement. Agnes notices that Reddington seems off and asks if he is leaving, and he tells her that he is simply traveling as usual. The tense meeting with Hudson and FBI Attorney General Stromberg arrives. Hudson has verbal proof from Cooper himself that Reddington has committed treason under their roof, but Cooper instead focuses on their accomplishments. Cooper tells them that he has run out of excuses. He was a night watchman for a cause that helped people for years, but he is done apologizing. Before they can respond to Cooper, the television screens in their office start glitching. The meeting is halted once Reddington's face suddenly appears on the screen, having recruited the help of his hacker, Tadashi Ito, to pull it off. Hudson is furious over the intrusion, citing Reddington's actions as further proof of why the task force should end. Little do they know, Reddington already has a plan, and the task force ending was always a part of it. We've watched as Reddington destroyed numerous areas of his criminal empire throughout the Blacklist final season. Reddington tells Hudson and the FBI that their problem is not with the task force but with him. Reddington takes responsibility for the recent security breach and the difficult position he put the task force in throughout the past decade. Reddington tells them that while he may have committed treason, Cooper and the task force have nothing to do with it. The agents have dedicated their lives to seeing dangerous criminals behind bars, so they should be left out of it. To emphasize his points, Reddington says that the task force is essentially clueless about his network. Reddington's criminal empire is much more expansive than they know, and so it is unfair for them to take the blame. He has essentially been manipulating them. Reddington has basically broken up with the FBI, and there is no turning back, which means that Reddington and the task force cannot be friends anymore. Even worse, someone needs to go to prison. Cooper enters the post office with a sad face before updating his agents. As of this moment, Task Force 836 has been shut down. It no longer exists. Cooper tells the agents. Hudson and the FBI barge into the task force headquarters to conduct a full audit of their operations. Raymond went to the jet and waited for Weecha, but she didn't show up. Nixon found the jet, and just as he notifies Hudson and the task force that Reddington has fled, the jet shockingly explodes shortly after takeoff. Hudson, however, insists they confirm that Reddington is dead. As one of Reddington's most formidable enemies this season, Hudson was right. Moments later, we see Reddington and Weecha casually chatting about the explosives that have been attached to the jet for years. Reddington is thankfully alive and well. As the post office is completely gutted, Cooper gets an update from Stromberg. The crash site for Reddington's jet was located with no bodies inside, meaning Reddington was never on board. As Cooper does his best impression of a shocked person, Stromberg decides to reinstate Task Force 836 to arrest Reddington. Wanting to avoid political troubles, Stromberg is demanding the arrest be made quietly. Stromberg reminds Cooper that, at the end of the day, someone will need to go to prison for the actions of the Reddington task force. The options are simple: either all the agents or Reddington himself will be prosecuted. So if the task force can arrest Reddington, they are off the hook. Cooper arrives home late, dejected, and defeated after an illuminating day. Red casually sits at his dining table and asks for the grim update, apologizing for getting carried away during his interruption earlier. Cooper is as confused as he is devastated. He doesn't want to have to turn on Reddington, but what other option is there? Reddington provides helpful advice, fully aware that their situation has shifted. Don't look so glum. It's just cops and robbers, Harold, Red tells him. Red tells Cooper that he hopes Donald Ressler is put on his case, just as he was over a decade ago before Reddington turned himself into the FBI and became a criminal informant. Everything is different now, but Reddington still encourages Cooper to have a little fun on the way out. What would you have me do? A confused Cooper asks. Catch me if you can. Red replies while smiling. Agnes calls out for Cooper from another room, but just as Cooper turns his head back to his longtime colleague, Reddington is already gone. Where is Reddington going after that heated episode? The entire U.S. government is back in bad graces with Reddington, but it doesn't look like the concierge of crime is going down without a fight. Reddington is an impossible man to find, and with the world at his feet, he could truly be anywhere, although he has voluntarily shut down a big chunk of his criminal empire. So it is safe to assume that Raymond is not as resourceful as he was. Considering his experience, resources, and years of relationship with the task force, do you think the Reddington task force can be able to hunt down Raymond Reddington and place him behind bars? Tell us what you think in the comments section.